Okay, the question was, can you go over the morning SPY chart again? And sure, again, we had a list of stocks to watch. Now remember, the market was strong early. See the SPY? This is the opening candle here. The SPY gaps down, but then they buy it straight up. Now, sitting on our hands for the first 15 or 20, 30 minutes, to me, yeah, you could sit there and feel like, oh, I wish I'd have bought the open. But the only way to know that is in hindsight. So it's to me, it's detrimental to have a habit of saying, oh man, I wish I'd have just bought the open. It could have easily opened down here and tanked too. So for that reason, if you want lower risk trades, what you do is just watch the market open. Again, we were projecting the SPY live this morning when it looked like this. All right, and I had several charts on watch and basically said this is the candle we need to watch. Sellers came in here. Everybody knows the market's ugly, okay? So what we wanted to do was gauge and see if they were going to push it down through lows of the day to see if any of our long watch stocks were worth watching, okay? Then the SPY puts in this green candle, and I said, hey, some of these might trigger now. So far, sellers couldn't push this through the low of the day. So I said as soon as the SPY breaks 113.90, some of the stocks we were watching, Starbucks for one, are going to give a long setup, okay? So let me go back to the SPY, and you can see, I'll scroll over again. When it broke this candle's high right there, that gave me a long signal for Starbucks, which I was projecting the chart live and called it at 35.01, worst case stop 34.77, and we get a pretty quick move to 36. That's a dollar move. If you were using the 8-period moving average as your guide to get out, as I said, you would have had a whole position for about 80 cents. Stop out there. I scaled out as I always do. I got 93 cents on some, and I got trail stopped on the rest for I think 79 cents. So that's how we're going to do it from now on. I'm going to use the SPY, and we're going to watch that in conjunction with our list. And again, I'll show you Riverbed, the same thing. This was one of our watch stocks. Riverbed was a long right here with a stop right here. Big move in Riverbed. And the same with RIM, although RIM didn't follow as quickly. RIM's still holding up very well. RIM, the trigger was right here, stop down here, didn't stop out. If your position size is correct, you'd still be in RIM. BKS certainly could be worth a look here. I mean, it's just a straight waterfall. Keep in mind this 5-minute candle just started. It's 1 minute old, so don't get too excited about the fact that it's green. But yeah, I mean, it could certainly be worth watching. The market's gone into that daily sideways chop here. So can't get too excited about the market. But, oh, also, Annette, I wanted to show you. Coach also did the same thing. Coach was on our watch list. I wasn't particularly watching this one, but the same thing. The break of this candle's high when the SPY broke gave you well over a dollar move there. And that is, I wanted to talk about mistakes as defined by that book I'm reading. I think it was Super Trader by Van Tharp. I like the way he puts mistakes. A mistake isn't a losing trade, a trade that loses money. A mistake is when you break your own trading rules. Maybe something starts to rip, and so you just jump in. It's already up 2 or 3 5-minute candles in a row, and you jump in. That's not one of your entry parameters. So even if you make money on it, that would still count as a mistake. Okay. So at the end of each day, I think you should be able to go back and look at all your trades. It'll give you some mental clarity and be able to take it trade by trade and say, okay, did it make sense? Was it one of my entry? Did it meet my entry criteria? Did I take the proper trigger and utilize the proper stop? And did I take profits the way I'm supposed to? If you did and you lost money, it's still not a mistake. Okay, mistakes are chasing, not using stops, all the obvious stuff. But how many times have you taken an entry that was completely random? Anyone feel like raising your hand on that? I'll put a Y for yes, because I've done it. And yeah, they can work. And if you take a random entry and you make money, to me, still a mistake. And I would you say those more often than not you make money on those or you lose money on them? More often than not, in my opinion, you probably lose money on them. And again, even if you make money, you've just taught yourself that you can take random entries and get away with it, so that, you know, one of these days when you take one, you're going to get hit in the face with a shovel. So yeah, I will, EC. I'm going to be projecting the by the way, the SPY trying to break higher here. And look at RIM and Starbucks. As soon as I learn how to type. RIM breaking out. Starbucks basing right at the high of the day, so they still both probably have more in them. Was watching a BKS here in this kind of waterfall type shape. It's becoming a little bit compelling. But so that's what I say. I think you'll have a great trading career if every trade you make meets your entry parameters, right? To me, that's the key. And go over your trades at the end of each day and ask yourself, did this entry make sense according to the rules? Did the stop make sense, and did I scale out appropriately?